All right, welcome everybody to our latest Live Motocross Times Whiskey Throttle podcast collaboration as we talk all things San Diego following a thrilling round of action with the great man, Jeff Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Editor at Large. Obviously, before we get cracking, we'd like to thank the sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, Fuchs Silverline, and Dragon Energy for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, welcome again, Jeff. Great to be chatting, mate. How was the weekend? It looked pretty wild, that's for sure, seeing Tomac hit the beast mode button.
Oh yeah, it was a great weekend, man. Beast mode is back. Trump's back in office today. He's our president. America, F yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been a great couple days, dude. I'm on cloud nine right now.
Yeah, mate, what a weekend. Press day as well set the tone, popping the quad a few of those lads, and then the racing was absolutely box office, mate. So, how's it from your perspective as a filmer? Obviously, the key takeaways, some of the crowd, the atmosphere, was the great vibes from A1 carried over into San Diego, it looked like.
Press was killer. Watching Justin Hill sack up and pop that quad off out the gate, he greased it, dude. And then he went over the triple right after and threw a whip. Jett went long and didn't make it, so everybody's giving Jett shit about that. But it's like, yeah, but it was pretty cool to see Hill sack up and grease it first, which doesn't surprise me at all. Um, the triple after the quad was probably my favorite thing during press day. That thing was so peaked out, and Billy Laninovich flat out won the whip contest on press day, dude. It was sick. Oh man, Billy was getting some, but he had to get off in qualifying on Saturday, and he jacked up a rib. I talked to him last night as he was laying in his uh, old man recovery chamber, one of those hyperbaric chambers. Yeah, I think he's gonna be like a vampire, just sleeps in them. But uh, he said he didn't break any ribs, just kind of tore that. Like, what do they call that? The fascia. Oh, dude, I've had that happen. It's worse than breaking the rib, dude. And so he's playing it year by year, but I think he's planning on racing A2, so that was cool. But yeah, Billy was just sending it over that jump, dude. It was sick.
Yeah, no, it looked cool, mate. You got all the action, captured it so well, just like our filmer. Dimmy was on site there, caught the Deegan crashing the whoops, and Chris Schultz from Empire Photos. Shout out to them, give them a follow. Just like you, mate, they were hustling, getting the content, and yeah, there was certainly lots to enjoy from the weekend, mate. I guess the best place to start with the Tomac versus Jett battle, mate. How amazing was seeing that right up and close in person from trackside while you're doing your filming, mate. Must have been so good seeing the beast mode and how he sort of answered emphatically that he's well and truly still got that beast mode in him, Tomac. It's super impressive at A1 coming back through the field. And then, yeah, obviously he hasn't won a race since the Triple Crown last year. Pretty much back to the best, isn't he, mate? And that bodes well for the series and for his championship fight on what's supposed to be his farewell tour, which might need a rethink at this point. But, Jett was on rails too, wasn't he, mate? So Tomac to hold him off, that's such a big confidence boost. Pumped on the win. And you got that really great footage of him just after the race with the family, mate. So how was it all from your perspective?
Did I honestly? I think that's the best we've ever seen Eli Tomac ride, dude. That was just a clinic from practice all the way through, dude. He was just on it, dude. And did you see that shot of me behind him on the start? Uh,
Roosted.
usually we stand behind the A-frame padding, but I don't know why they must have thrown them in the dryer and left them on too long. They got a little short this week, and Tomac didn't have a roost guard behind him, and I was fuck it, I'm getting some, dude. And it's a good thing I have a flat screen TV for a monitor because I stuck my eyes right behind it and squinted, and dude, I caught. Oh, dude. I wish you guys could understand what that's like to stand behind Eli on a start straight, dude. It just yeah, that was gnarly, dude. I'm lucky I didn't take one to the nuts. I didn't think that through, but I got peppered in the thigh a couple spots, but luckily nothing hit me in the berries. But yeah, my camera got buckshot everywhere, but dude, it was worth the shot. But dude, he was just flying, dude. It was cool to see, and Jett was moving, but I still think Jett is at like 95%. I think there was just some things he wasn't doing on the bike that you would see him do when he's really greasing it. So I still think there's a little more for Jett to improve on. And if Tomac keeps riding the way he's doing, he's going to get more comfortable. And boy, have we even seen the battle royale? Wait till we get him going bar to bar, you know, like Ricky and James would do the whole moto. I mean, this was close. He was right on him, but there was no bar to bar swapping positions, and I think that's next if they get together in a moto, because he's only going to improve. Christian's going to get that bike dialed, but I think there's just a little more room for improvement on Jett's end. And God, I hope we get another one like we had at San Diego this weekend. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, mate. I guess that moves Tomac, the record for the only man to have won at least one race in 11 consecutive seasons, mate. It's so impressive, the longevity of him over such a period of time against such a wide variety of riders, mate. And it looks like he's going to be there in the battle every single week, and it's going to be a great season with obviously Jett, Chase, Webb, Ken, Anderson, and Hunter Lawrence all firing up, fighting for those top positions. It's going to be good, mate. It seems like one of the trends so far is obviously a lot of dudes having that sickness, which is going around. So that's hindering blokes. So hopefully it doesn't hit any more of them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, somebody said that Coop was sick and he still rode like a G and made it on the podium. I don't know
Anderson.
exactly. Yeah, Anderson, he wasn't feeling hot. And apparently AP was sick, but somebody said AP crashed right before he rode off the track. But if he was sick, I could see that happening. I know in the TV coverage show him kind of grab his arm real quick when he was standing with Alpine. So who knows what really happened? But yeah, a couple guys were down, and Hunter was sick too. So they all didn't ride up to their potential. So hopefully they get through it. But a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people on the East Coast were really, really sick the last couple of weeks. So I'm just waiting for it. Just here it comes. Here it comes. I'm gonna get the Rona.
Fingers crossed, mate, you avoid it. And yeah, absolutely. And Jett, I guess looking at him after the race, he had that cool little embrace with Eli, just gave him a congrats and said, well done, mate, you got me this time. But he'll be fired up to go again next time. And obviously he was still frustrated. He wanted to get that win, but it was still a really good bounce back after A1. I guess how was the vibe under the HRC awning? Did you get to do the awkward moments series with the boys mechanics, mate? And obviously
I did, but I opted not to post it because I was like, yeah, this one might be a little too colorful. I mean, I'm not worried about putting it on Whiskey Throttle because I'm not going to get in trouble, but I didn't want to get the boys in trouble. I could see Lars going, no, no more of that. So I left that one off the plate this week. That's for my enjoyment. Maybe someday I'll show it to you, but that's not for public consumption. So I'll throttle it back a little bit. That one got a little bit rode off the train ruined off the tracks and into the ravine on that one. So I didn't want to get the boys in trouble, so I like them, and I want to be able to go around the HRC pit. So I left that one off the plate this week. But I thought that was really cool that Jett came up to him and he was genuinely happy. I've seen him enough to know that he was happy, and when he walked away, the smile didn't go off his face. He was still chopping it up with Lars and everything. And I caught that little thing where he's like, "Oh man, one more lap," and I'm like, "Oh, this is going on the internet." I gotta stir the pot a little bit. All right, let everybody see that. But that's good, dude. That's what he needs to say, right? And that's what the people want to hear. Like, okay, Jett thinks he had something for him if he had one more lap. And I know Jeff Ward commented, and he goes, "Yeah, there's always one more lap. It's called the white flag." So hey, it is what it is. At some point, you got to get it done. But I thought that was pretty cool because it just tells me that his mental frame of mind is solid, and he's right there. So you know how it is, though. We could get Tomac get a bad start or get a Jett bad start, and they don't have a race this weekend. So I'm praying to the Moto whatevers that we have another battle between those guys again, and I'd really like to see Anderson get in there. That could get real interesting. That could get real interesting if you get Jett in first, Tomac or Anderson in second, Tomac in third. That could get interesting, or vice versa. If Tomac's in first and Anderson's in second, and Jett's trying to come through. Yeah, he's gonna ride a real white bike. He's gonna turn into Jeff Emig out there, dude. He's gonna be riding. He's gonna be a barn door out there on the track. So, yeah, the 450 class. That's about all I caught. It was pretty interesting. Our guy B Ray, we made our debut in racing in Supercross. B Ray was on the Whiskey Throttle Racing 450. He actually looked really good. I mean, he top C qualifying, and before all the know-it-alls go, "Ooh, C qualifying. I don't give a shit. I'll take it." He top C qualifying. He's doing good, and he finished 14th in the heat, but his shock had an issue right towards the end, and so it kind of caused him some issues. I think he would have finished a little better in that heat race, which, if he was running 14th and had finished 14th with an issue the last two laps, that's pretty good, dude. I think B Ray would have qualified. He's qualified for mains before, so he's out testing this week and got the issue fixed. And we're going to be at Anaheim too, so keep an eye out for that 388 Whiskey Throttle Honda, and cheer for old B Ray, because that dude's rad. And I'll tell you what, if he qualifies into the main, you're going to see one sick whip over the finish line, because that boy can toss him.
Oh, mate, we look forward to seeing it for sure. And obviously, another couple of things from the main event. Obviously, Chase started the day as the fastest qualified, putting that flex on early. Yeah, with that race, having that early fall. Obviously, not long after, Ferrandis almost landed on him. So great work by Dylan to avoid him and sort of show that bike skill to navigate that situation and then ride out of it through the tough block. So really impressive, mate. But yeah, the skill and reaction time and racecraft by him to keep Chase safe. And then he fell over just soon after, was a bit of a kick. But yeah, Chase as well. He still obviously rode really well to come back through because he was down for a while there. And obviously there was a lot of chat about Vince Freeze as well. Obviously had that issue with Benny Bloss and then getting in the way of Tomac and Lawrence. So tell us a little bit about that too, mate, from being on the ground.
I didn't catch the Vince Freeze thing, but it didn't surprise me. And he's just the biggest question mark in moto. I don't get the guy, because if you ever meet him off the bike, he's the nicest, politest dude you've ever met. He's so cool. Like, you're like, no way that guy is a savage killer, dude. He's just cool, right? But he puts that helmet on, and it's like, as the goggle zone comes into a play, it's like it flicks a light switch. There's a switch we can't see in his hairline. It flips it from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, right? And he don't give a shit, dude. But hey, it's cool, man. I like it. It makes things interesting. And Vince is, like he's said before in the past, he's trying to put food on the plate for his family. So let it rip, And uh oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the Trump inauguration, and that firefighter got murdered in Pennsylvania. They're bringing out his turnout gear and putting it in the stadium where Trump's about to speech. So that's respect right there. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Vince is Vince is Vince is Vince, and there's no apologies there, and he doesn't pretend to be somebody he's not. So everybody just needs to quit bitching, dude. I mean, don't go to the outside of Vince, dude. You know what you're asking for. It's like putting a white hood on and walking through Compton and wondering why you got your ass kicked. Shit. So you kind of asked for it, bro. So I don't know what to say about that, but the
Chase and
rest of it,
Ferrandis.
yeah, Ferrandis. Everybody's like, "Oh man, he did Chase such a favor." Motherfucker, that was self-preservation. If he would have landed on Chase, he would have been dead too. There would have been two morgues, two bodies going to the morgue. It wouldn't have been just Chase. Chase would have been a little flatter, but when you land on somebody like that, what happens? You get spit off and go pogo head first into the ground, right? That's what always happens when you see a guy land on another dude. It's almost like the dude on top almost gets it worse. So there was some self-preservation in there, and I guarantee you, both of them threw their underwear in the trash after that moto, dude. For
Need some new
sure.
ethicas.
Yeah, yeah, new ethicas for sure. Code 20, WTM 20, Whiskey Throttle 20. Check it out.
Yeah, mate. It's really cool. And to finish up on the 450 class, mate, obviously we sort of glossed over Webb getting third, Roxon fourth, Hunter Lawrence fifth while sick. Sexton ended up getting sixth. Mookie, great rebound after that massive one at A1 to get seventh. Barsha, two top tens in 2 weeks. He got eighth. Ferranda's nine. Savachi 10. Ahead of Cooper 11, Prado 12, Anderson 13, Hill 14, and Freeze 15. So some really quality riders all the way down that list, mate. So it's no mean feat just getting the top 15. But yeah, anyone there you'd like to shine the spotlight on?
I mean, I really didn't see any of it. Dude, I haven't even watched the rest. I was so freaking tired. I think I fell asleep at the stoplight pulling into my neighborhood on Saturday night, and yesterday was just a fog all day, so I really haven't caught up. But from what I've seen, the racing was awesome. Everybody seemed to like the track, and I was just stoked that, for the most part, everybody in the 450 class seemed to make it out. The 250 class was another story. Oh my God.
Oh, you can go from there.
Whoa. So 250 class, I mean, yeah, Avery Long, dude. God, that was dirty, dude. And when they put him on the gurney, he was just kind of limp, and his hands were touched. And most of the time when you see somebody going on a gurney, if they're awake, they're kind of fidgeting their hands, and his wasn't moving. And I'm like, oh, dude, no, 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 don't say that, guys. paralyzed. I was kind of tripping on it, and after the race, I talked to Michael Lindsay. I guess Michael used to help that kid when he was a amateur, and he went to the hospital to check on him. He said, "Hey, man, he didn't. Nothing's permanent. He just rang his bell real good, took a nap. Thought he was in the Bahamas or some shit, but nothing broken." So they'd already released him from the hospital. But Talon Hawkins, Jesus, dude, that poor kid cannot catch a break, dude. I don't know if you've seen the video, but he just looped out on the triple into the quad section. Yeah, I don't know what happened. That track, everybody said it was like Velcro, it was real grippy, and he just goosed it, and that bike just spit out from under him, and he went feet first into the face of the triple, and busted his femur. So he had surgery yesterday, is my understanding. So get well soon, Talon. And then Lux had a mechanical issue. So AEO had a shitty weekend at San Diego. If you bring up San Diego and the pits over there at the AEO pit at Anaheim too, you're probably going to get punched in the eye. But yeah, there's only going to be one bike under the tent there this weekend, which sucks. But heal up quick for Talon. I really like that kid. He got a lot of heart and he tries. And never met Avery, but you just never want to see anything like that happen to anybody, dude. You know, that just sucked. That just sucks. Period. You see anybody get hurt on a dirt bike, but the 250 class, man, what a surprise, dude. I mean, I thought after seeing Hayden in qualifying, he didn't get the fastest, and I'm like, oh man, okay, well he'll probably wick it up to the mains, and he ended up still getting third. He's gone 5-3, so he's heading in the right direction, but he's got something he's got to work on. I don't know, but you could tell he was pissed. He wasn't happy. And then Jordan, wait, where did Hayden end up on the podium? Did he end up on the podium? Third. And so what, Jordan was second?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jordan went 3-2, so and then Juju's went 2-1. So Juju's in the points lead, then Jordan, then Deegan, right? And as far as the points go for going into Anaheim. So I think Deegan is sorting something out.
Shimoda's still third in the
Oh, no
standings.
shit. So
Surprisingly.
Deegan's in fourth in points, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
10 points
That
back
was
from Juju.
Dude, when I was walking through the tunnel and I saw Ben pushing his bike and Joe walking down, I was like, "Are you shitting me?" And Joe walked by and he was kind of holding his left hand out straight, and he had this like gnarly thing on his pinky finger, and dude, it almost like he had his wrist brace kind of dialed in, and then you could tell his hand was all padded up, and it almost looked like he kind of had like an oven mitt on him. Like, dude, that kid's a savage, dude. I gained so much respect for that kid, and when you look at those pictures of his hand, how it was dented in. I talked to Ping. I even talked to his mechanic Ben. I go, dude, that kid was so lucky he didn't amputate that finger. I mean, he came within an RCH of losing that finger. And for the guys kind of talking shit on the mechanic who had his pit board out there, dude, that was a freak accident, dude. None of those guys over at Club would ever condone that or do it. I know that mechanic, and he's a good dude. He would never do anything like that. So anybody's got something to say, there you go, say it to him. He'll probably be sleeping. But he's a good dude. So that was just a freak accident. Um, Sucked, but that just showed, dude, that kid's a savage, more of a savage than I ever imagined him. So he's definitely earned a lot of my respect. Like, holy crap, Joe's a badass. Deegan, I think he'll wick it up. I just think something's going on with his starts. Don't know what, but something's going on with his starts. He doesn't seem to have a health issues. He's not fading or anything. He's coming through. So he's just got something he's got to work out with his bike mechanics, like working on the bike or the setup or just him. There's just something that's just not clicking yet. But I have no doubt in my mind that him and Duff will figure it out. So that's exciting because what happens when he starts clicking off wins. And I thought it was really cool that on the podium when they asked him about everything, he stopped. He said, "Hold on, back up. Congratulations to Juju." And he just said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I sucked." Roxon was always the king of making excuses, dude, and well, so, da, 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 da. And after a while, once or twice you hear that, you're like, okay, maybe, but you just get tired of hearing that shit, and Hayden, as much as he gives out the shit, he was hard on himself, and he owned up to it, but he he was humble in defeat. For the guy who talks the most shit, he's also goes to the other side of the spectrum and is super respectful when it's time to be. So I thought that was man shit and good on him. But dude, Juju, holy crap, dude! When that guy came off the podium, he was like, there was dude, like the eyes were black and dude, that guy's a psychopath, dude. Like scary kid, dude. Like I would not want to piss that kid off, dude. That kid is mental. You just know that kid is mental. So I'm like, okay, we all know Deegan's a savage. And if you piss him off or he gets pissed off, he's going to go mental. We all seen that Juju can ride, but I've been around Juju a lot the last couple of years, and he's always nice and quiet and polite. But on the podium, he was just like a pit bull foaming at the mouth, on just scanning side to side. I'm like, dude, no way, that guy's gnarly. So the two of those dudes, I think we're gonna have some fireworks firing off this year, and I cannot wait because I like both those kids, dude. I think they're both savage and they're good for the sport. So yeah, buddy. And then Jordan, he kind of had a quiet second, but dude, Mr. Consistency showed up to the plate, and if Juju or Deegan have a bad race, Jordan's right there. Will Joe come out and do well at Anaheim too? I don't know, dude. That when they probably gave him something. I forget what they give him at the races when they're in pain or whatever to get him through the race, but the swelling hadn't really kicked in all the way and all that. But now his damn hand probably looks like a balloon with some little pork sausages on the end for fingers. I'm sure that thing's meat. I'm sure he's been doing treatment all week, but I mean that's going to be super painful to ride. So if he even goes out and rides and gets a top 10, I think that's still savage on him. But I think those three have already established themselves as the two dudes that are just gonna do dirt in the West.
Yeah, it's going to be so fascinating, mate. And obviously, the HRC Honda press release has just dropped, and Shimoda's obviously his quotes are overall, it's good to score a little bit of points. Obviously, I ended the night with two broken fingers, but I'm looking to get a little recovery and hopefully be a little better next weekend. So he's obviously keen to keep racing. And then Lars Lindstrom said, Joe having his incident obviously broke the fingers. I'm extremely proud of our athletes. And then he went on to say that he hopes he can get through the next two rounds and have the break, and then obviously the series heads. So might give him a little bit of time to recover. So it'll be a damage limitation the next two rounds for him, mate. But yeah, hopefully he can sort of just get another seventh and just stay in that hunt and be as close to, I guess, Deegan as possible, and Beaumare and Smith as well. And it's going to be interesting to see because he was having such a perfect start to the year. So it's a real bummer. But we've got to speak on Cody Schock as well, mate. Sixth place finish again, very consistent. Definitely doesn't get the praise he deserves. And yeah, that Club MX crew are doing a great job. And obviously a little bit of respect for Jett Reynolds too. Obviously had a little bit of adversity and got 13th in the end, just in front of the Aussie Brad West, and obviously your mate Parker Ross as well. Good to see him making mains and just building experience. So it's pretty cool. Kind of under the radar guys in there as well, mate.
Yeah, Cody rode really well. He's obviously kind of established himself as the top dog in the West for club. And Jett still has some work to do, but Jett owes me a new pair of Ethicos because I about shit myself when he got that whole shot and came around. In fact, I didn't catch it, but I put that edit up with no music, and then you hear me go, "Fuck yeah!" But it's muffled enough by the mufflers that now people, if they go back and watch it, they'll hear it. But I didn't get a talking to by the boss, so he obviously didn't hear it or just didn't give a shit. But I was so stoked. But I told him, I sent Jett a message. I was like, dude, you owe me some underwear. He sent me a cheers with two beers emoji. I'm like, you owe me some ethicas, Bubba. But yeah, that was gnarly. And then Brad West, did he crash and I saw something like the medics were putting his shoulder back in socket or something. Was that him?
Not too sure actually.
Yes, take a look. I think he had a shoulder dislocation. I don't know. Look on the Instagrams or whatever, the interwebs, and check that out. But I was like, oh shit, that sucks. And he rides pretty damn good. And then yeah, Parker took his fast acting Triactin. If anybody's wondering what Tractin, it's called Tractin like a man. He sprung that on me, and funny. I was like, "Oh, you little shit." All right, but yeah, he took his tract and he transferred straight into the main event. And hey, I don't care if those guys what they get in them, just as long as they're making mains right now. Rome wasn't built in a day, so I want Jett to just have a healthy Supercross season and get outdoors and Parker get through it, and hopefully they can race all the West rounds and get all that done. But yeah, it was, and hopefully Billy comes back. But yeah, that's kind of about all I had for the 250 class. It sucked that what happened to the AEO boys. It sucked what happened to Masterpool. I don't think he finished the race, did he?
No, I think he's broken some fingers or something as well.
Yeah, Chase Curtis from Swap Moto Live got a great shot of that. I mean, he was standing right at the floor in the corner, and yeah, Masterpool hit the ground like a sack of potatoes, dude. That was dirty. So hopefully he does well. And where did Marchbanks end up?
He ended up eighth.
Oof. He's got to step it up, man. He's got to step it up. So makes you wonder if Masterpool broke his hand, is Drew Adams going to be at Anaheim?
Looks like
Uh,
he should be.
yeah, I mean, what do you do at this point? You've got Masterpool out. You've got Levi who went east. Got to fill that seat in the truck, and I really like to see how Drew does, dude, especially with Davies.
Yeah.
The Kiwi, yeah, it's Kiwi, right? Is that what they called
Yeah.
him? Yeah, the Kiwi. He's that kid's mental too, dude. Uh, I don't know what made him drop back. Nerves. I don't know if it's fitness, but I'd imagine it's probably nerves or just at this point. But dude, he was solid all night, dude. I'm like,
Won the
holy
heat
crap.
race.
Yeah. Whew. He gave everybody fits, dude. So yeah, just the sport so far is doing pretty good. I mean, it sucks what happened to the AEO boys, but I hope everybody else can kind of get through the season. Just, everybody's gonna get their lumps and bumps, but I just don't want to see anybody else out of the series.
Yeah, and a quick one before we wrap up, mate. It looks like Enzo Lopes will be on that Bar X Yamaha crew for A2, which is really awesome because you look at their results from the weekend and pretty impressive stuff. Obviously, if we go to the main event, we had Brad West in 14th and Bourdon in 11th. So they're really making some good momentum, aren't they?
Yeah, and also to go along with that, BarX made the decision when they brought Lopes in. They are not going to race the East, so everybody's going to start racing West. And so I said, when does Schwartz come in? And I think they're coming in Phoenix or Glendale. And so BarX is just going to race West only. Probably save him a shitload of money on fuel. Put that towards Lopes' salary. And Dylan Schwartz, I really want to see what that kid does too. He can ride Supercross so good, and nobody's really seen it. I saw
Yeah.
him when he was just knocking the dust off, and he was impressive. So, and another little incident with his wrist, but that'll be good to go. I think by the time you get to by the time he gets to Glendale. But I really want to see that kid do well too. You know, there's a couple in his age group, him and Jett, and yeah, and was Styles there this weekend?
I think he might have pulled out after an early crash or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, dude. Those guys have just had the shittiest luck. And Robertson, if he doesn't do something this year, I just don't see him having a ride after this. I mean, where do you go after that? You know, which sucks because he's a nice kid too. But I mean,
Hmm.
he's bumped back to a three-digit number. You know, and if he doesn't produce, it's going to kind of be like, well, hey, you know, you tried. You know, I think that's where that one's going to land if something doesn't work out for him pretty quick.
Yeah, injuries are so brutal, mate. Before we wrap this one up, obviously, any final thoughts from San Diego you have? And obviously, how excited are you for A2? Both classes are shaping up very nicely indeed.
Yeah, A2, just God, I can't wait. It's gonna be sick. And I just there's nothing I can say that I didn't already say earlier other than let's freaking go. I can't wait for press day just to see what everybody does out there. Hopefully we get Deegs back in press day because Deegs in press day is fun. The last two press days have kind of been vanilla, other than Justin sacking up and hitting the quad and Billy throwing his whips, but everybody else is just kind of went out and went through the motions. So hopefully everybody's gotten rid of the sickness this week and comes out and puts on a little show for us at Anaheim. I haven't seen the track map. Have you seen the track?
No, I haven't got that far ahead yet.
I haven't either. So I'm gonna go look around and see what I can do. But it's gonna just be badass. That's all I got to say. Is nothing more than this whole thing's just set up to be badass, and we're here for it. Hopefully we get Billy back. If that Avery Long comes back before Anaheim, I'd be surprised. I don't think he will. I think probably the concussion protocols are going to hold him out hopefully your boy Brad West heals up and he can tough it out, and hopefully B-Ray makes the main. I want everybody down there to throw a little good juju, as they say, towards us. Can you imagine if we got a bike in the main event at a Supercross? Like, hell yeah, I'll be stoked, dude. That'd be the only thing I'd be filming. Did you film anybody else? Nah, just film my guy. It's pretty sick. Yeah, I don't give a shit what he gets. He can get the last place as long as he makes the main. But B-Ray's such a rad dude. If you guys don't follow B-Ray, check him out. He's just the coolest kid, and he's had a hard go of it, but he just always seems to find a way, and he's always happy-go-lucky. So that's why I wanted to give him a bike so bad. Is he never has a shitty attitude. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Let's have fun. So hopefully we can get old B-Ray in the main, and that's about all I got, brother.
Yeah, well said, mate. Obviously, he just came back from Germany the weekend before race this, so respect to him on that schedule, mate. And yeah, all the best to you too, mate. Thanks for taking the time. Keep up your great work. And before we let you go, we'll thank the sponsors in Fly Racing, 24MX, Dirt Store, Fuchs Silkaline, and Dragon Energy for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, Jeff, all the best, mate. We look forward to hearing from you after A2.
Yeah. Can't wait to get on again. And I just want to say shout out to all our sponsors, especially Ethica, supporting what we're doing for all our content in the Supercross racing and Super Motocross series this year. So big shout out to them and everybody else who watches. I mean, great week. I think we're up to 137,000 followers, and we started Anaheim one with 125. So we got a rocket strapped to our ass, and the goal is 200 this year, and ultimately a million. I'd love to get to a million. Just see if I could do it. If anything else, just to see if we can fricking do it. So give us a follow if you don't, and I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, well said, mate. All the best, and we'll speak soon.
All right, brother.